Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you're amongst the 50% of the people watching this who have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you have been enjoying these streams and want to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, with the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click the link in the info box below this video to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You will be warmly welcome back on the next stream. In a moment, I'm going to transition across to my photographs so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and I would encourage anybody who is currently watching the live stream to please also share the show. Sharing is the most important thing you can do as a viewer, as it increases the live audience, which in turn increases the likelihood of having a more diverse panel. So please share the show. One more time, if you're new to the channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. We'll try and do a few shout outs while I'm doing my sharing. Just raise the mic on the Hangout in case anybody's just joining while I'm doing this, so you can say hello. HootTube, first one in. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Pleasure as always. Fanny Lancer, good to see you. Proud supporter. No spam. Fanny, I'm watching you. Arwin, good to have you here. Another proud supporter of this show. Proud contributor. Sean Pierce, thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy the show. Please share. Joven Trendmaker, thank you for being here. Nice to see you as always. Daylight, Ohio, thank you for all your super track. Try that one more time. Hey Daylight, Ohio, thank you for all your super track. Thank you for your super chat contributions. I will get it out in the end. Sleeping Warrior, I won't read that. Good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I think that's pretty much it. I'll run through my links one more time and hopefully you won't have to hear them a third time, but if nobody joins, you will. So if you are new to this channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, as I'm hoping someone will do, if nothing else to test the stream, then simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Please don't swear. If you do, I'll eject you. And if you are ejected, you'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. So don't try and rejoin using sock accounts. That's pretty much it for my links. You may hear the exact same information again in 5 minutes' time if we don't get our first guest. And if we do, you'll hear an introduction from me. Oakley1 Kenobi, good to have you here. Hey, Shireen Tomf. I think I've said that totally wrong. Good to have you here anyway. Not a space agency, pleased to see you. Roger MC, thanks for being here. Amanda, nice to see you. Saves me typing it. Please share the show. Roger MC says, he said my name! Woohoo! Yes, if it makes you that happy, Roger MC, I'll say it a couple more times. Very pleased to have you here. Roger MC. Shill Scanner, good to see you. Stiggy! One of my favourites. How you doing, Stiggy? Nobody's tested the stream yet. One of you from the chat could just click the link just to check the stream works. It's definitely the info box. Just checked. Hey, Haunted House, good to see you. I restreamed Shill Scanner's intro that he made for me. So thankful to people like Shill Scanner. Great adverts, as opposed to the evil horribleness I used to get as adverts. Now I get actually quite nice ones. So thanks, Shill Scanner. Oh, we've got a guest. Ali, pleased to have you here. I don't know if you're just testing the stream, but I heard some noise, and so did the audience, so that's good enough for me if that's all you've joined for. Thank you so much, Ali. If you're here to talk about the shape of the Earth, the mic's all yours. I'll fade across if you choose to speak.
All right, how you doing?
I'm very well. Very pleased to have you. First one in, so the mic's all yours.
Hang on. Oh no, what am I going to talk about? I just wanted to know what happened about the photograph. That photograph everybody was arguing about yesterday.
The photograph of the lights on the bayou?
Yeah. How it was 1 minute, it was that discussion with the refraction, standard refraction, abnormal refraction. It was just, I was just wondering how it ended up. Did anything get resolved or anything? I fell asleep.
Not really. I mean, the people on the Globe side are essentially saying just wait till he presents his evidence, whereas from my perspective, from the Flat Earth side, I see something that's incredibly useful. You know, a side-on perspective view of something with reference markers, according to him, measured certain distances that you can then extrapolate data from. It's incredibly useful to have that side view. And their opinion is, well, you shouldn't be really looking at this until he's released his data. And it's like, no, this is really handy. For me, it's perfect. Or for Anthony to absolutely tear to shreds, it's ideal. So, you know, for them to say you shouldn't be looking at this, it's like, no, going to be all over it like flies on you know what. Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking, because I went and watched the guy's video. I was just watching the tide. You know, the tide was going in and out while he was through that whole day, yeah? So when he took his 5 foot measurements, you know, the tide was coming in. Maybe that's why it was refracting down the way it looked as if it was going down, because the tide was coming in. I was looking at the tide times, and you could actually watch, if you watch the side where the lights were during the day, you can watch the tide going out and then coming back in again. I'm just wondering whether he took that into account, because he took quite a while to set up the lights.
Yeah, we've got comparative footage as well of that exact thing happening at Skunk Bay, which, you know, that got dissected as well. But I don't know. That's the honest answer until we see all of his results. I think he has released some of it on Twitter now, which I haven't been keeping up with. But hopefully someone will join who has. We shall see.
Yeah, I thought because it did say on his video that it was the experiment, wasn't it? So even though he did take it at 15 foot as he rose, that means that if you're up higher, you should be able to see the curve, yeah? But they say, oh, by the way, it doesn't matter. You go up higher, you just see further, so you don't see the curve. But then, like his the other video with the pylons, right, as that went away, but they would have said if you went up higher, or you wouldn't see the curve, but you could see the curve from this last video that he did, and he was higher up, you know. But it doesn't really prove, it doesn't prove anything anyway. It's not really a proof or anything. And as I say, you've got to take into account the tide coming up. That's stupid, you know. It'll be interesting to see if he put into his equation about he took into account. Oh, I might get kicked, Nathan, because Timmy the tosser's on. Excuse my language.
No, he won't kick you. Well, I'd be surprised if he does.
Well, he's done it before. He's done it before, so.
Well, hopefully not this time. How you doing, Tim? I think Jonathan was the first one in.
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to have you
Hi,
here.
Jonathan.
Yeah, hi. All right.
Hi, Jonathan. Now that's my job done. Good to have you both.
Nathan, may I just ask you a question, mate? Just wanted to clear something up. Please don't misinterpret this or take it the wrong way. Is your mother Anne Oakley?
No.
No. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. I don't know if you know what that's in regards to, do you? I'm not.
No. Feel free to tell me that. Tell me what you mean. I don't mind. Fill me in.
Yeah, he was talking
well,
on Jamie Brown's earlier. He said he was actually going to meet up with you and get it on camera. Isn't that right?
I didn't say. I said that I was going to talk. I didn't say that. You fucking lying.
You didn't
No
say
swearing.
that?
No swearing.
Watch your mouth, buddy. You're on
I
Nathan
didn't say-
Oakley's
I
channel
said-
now.
Listen,
You're
shut
not on
up,
Jamie
you.
Downs.
Listen, I said I was going to talk to Nathan, and dependent on what was said, I may have recorded it. I didn't say I was going to film
No, we can go
him
back.
and
I
beat
think you're
up
drunk
with him.
again. You're just a drunk numpty.
You
But
mug. Yeah, what are you even doing
shut
here?
up. Shut up.
You do a terrible Essex accent. You know. Listen. I wasn't even talking to you, and Nathan can go back and watch it. And
It's none of your business who his dad is, dude. Just to let you know, it's none of your freaking business.
It is. It is.
No, it's not.
Some of my. Look, I'm not even asking you. Shut up. Right? I'm talking to Nathan.
It's none of your business.
Right? Let Nathan determine whether it's any of my business. But
No, I'm
I
telling
was
you,
talking
it's
to
none of your
Nathan.
business.
Shut up, Nathan. May I talk to you, please? Can you just mute him for 1 second? I will just be 30 seconds. I said my piece.
Been
Right,
joined by
Nathan,
Curved
just on
Water.
the
How you
channel-
doing, Curved? Good to have
Right.
you here.
Just on the channel a moment ago, it was brought up that your mum was Anne Oakley and your father was somebody else Oakley. I can't remember his name. And when they brought up the issue of who it were, it says
Robin Oakley.
regarding your mum is a distinguished British sociologist, feminist and writer. She is professor and founder and director of the Social Science Research Unit at the Institution of Education, University for London. It goes on and on. Daughter of Richard Titmuss, and then it had a really bad write-up about your supposed father. But thanks very much, Nathan. You've cleared that up. Like I said, please excuse. I can't shut.
Yeah, none of your
Tim
business. Get out of
Osman
here,
up.
clown.
Just to clear this up,
No,
there are
you're probably going to
literally
make me stick around a little bit longer, you mug.
there's literally videos with all of my family named on my channels.
Yes,
So this
yeah,
isn't,
and
this isn't
I have
easy.
actually seen, and this is why, you know, I said that I wanted to talk to Nathan first before I said
I mean,
anything.
these people are idiots.
It's unfair,
Either
and
Yeah,
I
go have another
seen-
drink, you clown.
these people are idiots.
Have another drink.
Do I sound drunk to you at the moment?
A little bit.
No.
Anyway, we've been joined by. I'll
Right,
try
well,
Curved again. I
just
think he's
because
had mic
they're all-
problems.
listen, just
Hold
because
on,
they're all
Jonathan.
drinking
Jonathan,
on that
Jonathan, bear
channel,
with me.
it doesn't mean that I am,
Jonathan.
okay?
I'm trying to do
I'm
intros.
not
This is a
drink.
flat Earth debate, so
Jonathan.
remove yourself if you're not going to debate about the
Well,
flat Earth.
you're the
Thank
one
you.
who's bringing up. You're
Thank
the one.
you.
Who's,
Both of you, right?
you're
Gonna
the
have
one
to
who's
lower the
bringing
volume
up.
on you. Right, so we've been joined by Curved Water was in first, but he had a few mic problems. So if I can just say a quick hello to Curved Water first of all.
See, Nathan, this is the level of research flat earthers do. Anyway, hi.
Yeah,
I think-
they failed doxed me about 6 times, and they continue to call me some fail guy, and they're
Well,
just pathetic researchers. They're not even
Well, isn't that
researchers. They
funny
just
how
sit there
that
and
you're-
create hot
Well,
air.
hold on.
That's all they
Well,
do.
then you're including Nathan in that because Nathan is a flat earther.
Can I just say hello
I'm talking
to
about
Mr.
Jamie Down's crew over there.
No.
Guys,
You
guys,
just
smart
said
people over
flat
there.
Calm
earthers.
down. I need to introduce
You
guests.
put us all.
Just
Sorry, guys.
Mr. Whatever your name is, can you just say a quick hello?
Hi, how you doing?
Good to have you here. All right, I can transition back to you guys now. Now we're not going to get porn.
You just said flat earthers, and you tarred us all with the
Anyway,
same
this
brush.
isn't a drama channel, so go have another drink. No one cares. Anyway, hey, ballers here. I just wanted to say that Ranty was saying also on that show that that you guys are getting smashed, that the flat Earth is just winning, and it's just absolute patheticism coming from their mouths. I just wanted to say that.
No,
but,
we are winning though.
We've got distorted
That's the
glasses
best
on.
bit.
They're mine, thanks to the.
We've been joined by Paul, and we've also been joined by Gem Panda. I think Gem was in first. If I can just say a quick hello to Gem Panda. How you doing?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nathan.
And how you doing, Paul?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, Paul,
Good
you
to
better
have you
step
both.
your game up. These flat earthers, man, they're beating a physicist, dude. All of what you say has been debunked by Ranty Rant.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that either, to be honest.
No,
I
but
wouldn't agree with that.
research isn't very good because you didn't know about Nathan's thing. You got that wrong, didn't you? It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, all they do is just talk crap about Nathan too. I mean, they're so pathetic. They sit over there and they're just, oh, Nathan, he's creating a show and
So I
making
just
loads
thought
of
you
money.
said
We
that
all
this
know you're
wasn't
not
a
making much
drama
money,
thing.
dude.
Hold on, I just thought you said this wasn't a drama thing. So why are you going?
Yeah, so
back?
remove yourself, clown.
No, I see. I'm a flat earther.
Go have another
so I'm
drink.
here because I'm a flat earther. So
No. You guys were just saying that Jamie Brown is the only legitimate, and that you guys should stay over
I
there.
didn't
So you
say
just
that.
you hop
See,
right over
you're
onto
doing it
Nathan
once
Oakley, right
again.
when
You're
he
doing
fires
it
up.
once again. You're doing it once again.
Once
See,
again, I was
you
just
clump-
listening.
You clumping us all in together.
Again.
Anyway,
Yeah, Jamie Down's channel. I'm clumping you guys, Pete Shea, all those clowns that talk crap about Nathan for no reason because he has a debate channel, and you guys are jealous that he gets way more views than Jamie Downs. You're jealous.
those
Remove
people,
yourself, drunkard.
Listen. You're talking for them. You're not talking for me. So I don't have that view.
I heard you speaking. Okay.
Yes, you did hear me speaking. I was on there. I've got no, I've got nothing to hide, mate. I haven't done anything. Sorry, I don't want to call you mate because you're not my mate. You're just scum.
I'm scum. Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
it's not very.
All
Okay.
you do is go around and just bash people,
You just
snipe people's hangouts. You think you've got this?
Am I sniping you right now? Because I could. I could.
Ooh, you could.
So just leave, dude. You got nothing. Leave.
Well, what have you got then? Come on, then, ballers. Come on, what have you got? Pictures and men.
No. See, that's what the that's what all flat earthers do now. They just say, "Oh, you guys are looking at NASA pictures, and that's why you know it's a sphere." No, actually, we know a lot more about the spherical model, the two
No,
celestial points, equinoxes,
think
everything
you
that
do.
works on the spherical model that you guys just don't seem to look at.
Mathematically, it works. In reality, it does not work.
Actually, it's observationally. Okay, observationally. Remember the empiricism that we're all supposed to go
the
back
Earth
to?
is flat.
Okay, then provide evidence. How come Matrix Decode's last two videos show the curvature?
I
How
don't
come?
know about
And he
Matrix
left. He was a
Decode.
flat
I don't-
earther. He was a flat earther before you even knew of the term, dude.
So what if it's? He's got nothing to do with me. Why are you asking about
Take
him?
the marbles out of your
Right,
mouth,
listen.
clown.
I'll tell you why the Earth's flat, right? If you're expecting us to believe that there is
Why?
visible curvature with a boat going over the horizon at 2.92 miles, then why, if I've got an uninterrupted stretch for 60 miles on left to right, why can't I see any curvature there?
I'd like
It's a ball.
Left
it
to
curves
right.
in
This
all
x-axis argument. This x-axis argument is pathetic, dude.
Oh,
Go seriously. There's no hope for people like you.
Go and read a book.
Why can't I see it from left to right? Well, just turn your body to the right then, 90 or 45 degrees then, and then look left, and you'll see the freaking curvature, moron.
I suppose you believe Sandley's pylons videos are real, do you?
Believe? Well, yeah. Actually, he's got many videos and images. What am I supposed to disbelieve
I'm asking
it?
you that specific one. Do you think that those pylons that are going across the water are bending over? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Right.
What evidence have you got?
Why don't you go and watch Jeronism's video that he just did today? Right.
You mean last night? Yeah, I did watch that. And it was garbage. I already emailed him about it.
I saw a lot of lies.
So
Terrible lies, dude. Terrible.
So what about all the mirroring effects and all that?
Yeah,
that
we don't.
you lot all
Everybody
seem
here
to
on this
deny?
panel don't deny mirroring effects. We don't deny Fata Morganas. We do not deny temperature inversions. We do not deny superior and inferior mirages. Okay, we don't equate that into a flat Earth like you do. Okay, clown. So take the marbles out of your mouth, go get another drink, and remove yourself from this fucking podcast.
No, mate.
Excuse me.
I'm just gonna piss you off even more, mate.
I'll just remove you.
You can't. Go on, head.
Please,
Remove me. You can't remove me. It's Nathan's hangout.
Yeah, please don't snipe anybody.
See what I mean? You know, I didn't come over here to have a row. I really didn't.
well,
Came over here to ask a question,
I have to
and I'm not gonna duck out now.
asking people.
Well, I'm interested in seeing how you explain that mirage effects can cause such a nicely uniform curve.
We can, Curves. How you doing, Curved? We've also been
can't
joined
hear
by
anything
Near
because
Base. How you
everybody's
doing, Near
talking
Base?
over
Good
each
to have you
other.
here. How you doing, Near Base?
Hey, how's it going?
Very quiet. I'll turn you up. Good to have you here.
Has Mr. Osman gone?
Yeah.
Good.
Try not to swear, Jonathan. You can say what you like to him, just don't swear.
I do apologise, Nathan. Sorry about that. Really do apologise. He's divisive and he does all this on purpose. We all know this.
Let's go back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Paul.
Sorry.
Paul?
Yeah, I'd just like to hear somebody explain how mirages and stuff can cause such a nicely uniform looking curve.
Jonathan, you're up. Explain it.
Yeah, I'll have a shot.
Well, what makes you think I've got all the answers?
Wait a minute, Jonathan.
What makes you think I've got the answers?
Jonathan, 1 minute.
If you're going to claim that it's mirages, then you have to have an answer.
Yeah, right. Okay. Right. You said what did you say? A uniform. Is that Paul? Did you say uniform? No, Jonathan. 1 second.
Yeah, it's a well-defined curve. It's what we would expect to see on a curved Earth.
What curve are you talking about?
Beg your pardon?
The pylons, the soundless video, or what?
Yeah. Any of his videos that show curvature. Any of his videos that show curvature. The curve is pretty well defined.
What videos? What videos are you talking about specifically that shows curvature?
Well, you can pick his causeway one. You can pick his transmission line one.
So
and they've all been debunked.
Any of them. They haven't been debunked. We've had pathetic excuses. We've had excuses.
Have you watched Journalism's video today?
How come?
And what a load of rubbish.
Right.
Oh.
How many?
That's what I think about soundly stuff and all that.
Well, Jem's seen the video.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
Oh, sorry, you guys are too high intellectuals, aren't you? Sorry.
I mean,
I'll just go off back to my little hot hole, shall I? And you know,
that's up to you,
please.
Well, why are you saying this? There's no reason to say this, is there?
Yeah, no, Jonathan. It was just, we were just getting into a conversation there, and that was all. That was all. I wasn't telling you to go away or saying I was intellectual. I was just trying to ask some questions.
That's cool.
It's not very often you get to talk to a physicist. So
who is the physicist? Sorry, on the panel.
Paul guy.
Oh right, okay. Hi. Sorry, Paul. I didn't know you were a physicist.
We've also been joined by David. How you doing, David?
How are y'all doing?
Good to have you here.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Paul, do you have any? Have you shown any of these credentials that you're a physicist or anything?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No,
I'm just asking. I don't know, Gem Panda. Gem Panda, I don't know. I am asking the question.
Well, he hasn't actually presented any evidence at the moment, so if you're going to start questioning his integrity to provide evidence, then you need to wait until that's happened, right? Determining now what his qualifications are is irrelevant to the conversation.
Yeah, plus anonymity as well. you know, some people want to keep themselves private. So, you know, if you start showing qualifications and all that kind of stuff, you know, so I get it. But
so we just have to take everything on word.
Well, you could look it up. Well, it's irrelevant anyway.
It doesn't.
It's irrelevant.
Presents it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So, what tangible stuff that can you prove? You know that all these stars are billions of light years away, or however far they are, with all these ridiculous numbers that are just, you know. How I ever believed all the heliocentric nonsense, I do not know. It's disgusting.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why you believe. You're saying you believe it?
No, he doesn't.
No, I did believe it. I did believe it. What a fool I am for believing it.
Yeah, but Jonathan, you got to remember, you don't understand.
You didn't know. How do you know I don't understand it? How do you know I don't understand it? You've never talked to me before.
No, listen. Let me talk. Like, because if you're asking questions, which is pretty much what these whole debates have been, is you guys asking the questions. That would tell you that you don't understand the answers. You're not trying to debate.
I haven't asked you shit. I haven't asked any.
How do we know the stars are?
But I actually agree. You're just asking how we know
fair enough. One question I've just asked.
You don't understand it.
So how do you know then that the stars are that distance away?
Well, they don't know, man. They're gonna tell you they know, but go ahead.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of methods
we
can use. We can use parallax. We can use redshift measurements. Those things tell us the distance that the stars are away.
Right. Okay.
My friend Nick, he's in university.
When was it decided that the moon was 240,000 miles away? What year was it that was finally put into fact that the moon was 240,000 miles away? What year was that?
I don't know.
I have no idea what year it was, and really, it doesn't matter.
We
know that it's that distance away now. It's irrelevant when that distance was established.
What year was it? What year was it that they decided the sun was 96 million miles away? What year was that?
Yeah. And how come they kept changing it over the last 500? No, it's not irrelevant because after Copernicus came out, there was so many different. There was so many.
They have more accurate methods of measuring.
Right. I thought you'd go slide through the week and not get beat up, ballers. But it's going to happen today. I can already see it.
Can I just confirm you're telling us that science isn't dogmatic, that it changes over time? Is that what you're saying?
Of course it changes over time. Yeah. Why would we expect it to be static?
Jem's agreeing with me.
What's the definition of scientism?
Why?
What is that?
No, Jem's agreeing.
Do you think I don't care? All right? Scientism is a made-up word. I don't care. Why would you expect science to be static? Do you think we've discovered everything that there is to know? Of course not.
That was Jem.
Seem to indoctrinate kids and... I wasn't indoctrinate kids and ram it down their throat.
I was asking the flat earthers to confirm if they're saying that science isn't dogmatic.
It's a very good point.
Science built the first 350 Chevy, so we know what science
is. Very dogmatic, isn't it? Because you don't want to even take on board other answers.
Well, the claim is at the moment that it's changed several times. Is that correct?
Science has changed.
Joined by the Rumpus. Can I just say a quick introduction? How are you doing?
Hello.
Good to have you here.
My favourite baller, Rumpus.
Or Ali, so you would agree it's changed over time?
Oh, sorry, say that again, Jim. I wasn't listening, actually.
Well, the claim was being made that because distances to heavenly bodies have been recalculated over the years because measurement methods have improved.
Well, you need to specify what year they were updated. You know, you got to always update that information, and the information doesn't seem to be out there that the sun was decided on this day. Was it in the newspaper back when? Let's see the newspaper article where it said that the sun's 96 million miles away. We discovered this today.
1990, and then they probably updated it again in 1995, and then they probably updated it again in 2000.
Yeah, but you're saying probably, but that's not when it was.
Every year.
I thought a physicist should know all this information.
Well, they determined the distance of the sun with a transit of Venus. That's what Captain Cook was sent over to do when he went over to Australia, so that they could do it by parallax. Well, the parallax on the transit of Venus across the sun. So they established very firmly in about, what was it, mid 1750s or something.
It was 1761 and 1769.
I didn't do that from memory.
There you go. So how did that help you guys, knowing that?
There you go. Now you know. What's next? Come on, John.
Mayans knew more about the stars than y'all ever will.
No, but wait. What's next? Now that you know the information, because it was so.
I want to get back. I want to get back to Lake Pontchartrain. I want to go back to the curvature because that's what we original. And I was talking to Paul there.
All right, let's talk.
Or anybody that.
But before we move on, I think just to acknowledge,
never mind.
Don't you think it is true?
Will you just speak?
No, but no. I just wanted to say quickly, just so we can end that bit. You would agree, Ali, because you're reasonable. That science isn't dogmatic, is it? It does change over time because it accepts new information.
What the science is a bit dogmatic? Yes, it is.
So that's contradicting what you've just been telling us about how it changed.
Well, hold on. It's dogmatic in the sense that something like Newton's law, it's not going to change what Newton's law, for instance, do. But we determined that in new situations like being near a black hole, moving very quickly, it changes. So science is dogmatic in certain ranges, but it's prepared to say under new circumstances, which we're not familiar with, you might have to develop a more developed theory, or you might add another couple of % to the age of the universe or something. But it's dogmatic in some senses, but it's prepared to update, give extra resolution to things as it learns more.
I don't think it's even dogmatic in that sense. I don't think it's even dogmatic in that sense because Newton's laws we've now accepted are incorrect.
Well, they're not.
They're incorrect, but they are close. They are, but they're a close approximation for use
not in the context of the world we live in. They're not on the Earth.
Yes, they still are incorrect. But the point is that they're incorrect by such a small amount, it doesn't matter.
Yes, that's a resolution.
And that's why we
all right, hold on. But what about when Michio Kaku comes on and he says that cosmology is not off by 0 to the power of 3, which is unacceptable. He says it's off from 0 to the 120.
But Paul, we're dogmatic that with the resolution we're talking about, they are Newton's laws are correct. So we are dogmatic.
I beg your pardon? What was that?
We are dogmatic.
Goodbye, Nathan. Thank you.
We are dogmatic that the laws, something like Newton's laws, work to the resolution.
Later, you tossers.
To the resolution.
No, because we now accept
argument, John.
That centuries ago, we accepted Newton's laws as truth, and we used them and we calculated them to use everything. Okay, and now, but the thing is, dogmatism means that we would hang on to those and not claim that they are false. We now have a better theory. We now know that Newton's laws aren't correct, and we willingly admit that. So that's not dogmatism. We willingly admit that we were wrong. We were wrong about Newton's laws. We now have a better model. We still are able to use Newton's laws in everyday situations because as far as everyday situations go, they are good enough.
Yeah.
But we know they're wrong. We are not dogmatically hanging on to them.
Context on Earth.
Because they are.
No.
It's just that the error that they give, is so small that it's irrelevant.
Exactly.
They are still wrong, right? But they are still good enough.
We use them to do things like launch satellites around the solar system.
That's the point. Yeah,
the point is we still use them as they were.
Because we don't have to use relativity for everything because it would be too complicated.
Yeah,
but we're not dogmatic in the sense that we accept that Newton's laws aren't correct. We've moved on. We have better theories. We don't have to hang on to Newton's laws and say, no, they're correct.
We've improved their resolution. We've updated them, but we haven't ever. We're dogmatic about the fact that in our context on the Earth, Newton's laws work, and anybody could show an example of Newton's laws not working.
Dogmatism.
Well, okay, it depends what my dogmatism is. We're very firm that Newton's laws haven't been violated in the context of the Earth and doing things in the solar system that they work pretty perfectly.
They work good enough for our purposes.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
we're dogmatic about that. We're not. We're prepared to say that is.
That's not dogmatism.
Well, okay, depends what. Well, okay. Well, I suspect that with the usage that whoever it was
Dogmatism would be hanging on to a worldview in spite of evidence against it. Okay.
Well, we're dogmatic that Newton's laws work in the context of Earth, in the sense we are. Obviously, we're open. If someone found evidence to the contrary, we would obviously accept that and try and incorporate in new laws. But we are quite. Perhaps dogmatic is not quite the right word, but we're emphatic.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The dogmatic is not the right word to
use. I know, but I was suspecting that the person in question had a certain flexibility about what they actually meant by the word dogmatic. But we're certainly very firm that Newton's laws work. Newton's laws work
in our everyday context.
And we're very firm about that. We're not prepared to. You'd have to give us an extraordinarily convincing piece of evidence to suggest that it didn't. And we're very firm. If you say that to a scientist, they say you're an idiot, go away. They wouldn't even be prepared to consider talking to you if you started to violate that, unless you came with a great wad of
correct. To say that science is dogmatic is wrong, because if that piece of evidence did come along, science would be quite accepting and say, okay, we've got this piece of evidence. Newton's laws don't work. Why not move on?
You got to remember, a lot of us have been living and watched all this science come to age. You know what I'm saying? There's people alive before refrigerators were in people's houses. You know, it wasn't even until almost 1920 when the refrigerator first went into homes. So, so you got to figure just in my 50 years that I've been alive, all the things I've seen done by science. But there's a difference between science that's useful and then science that's made up, into a theory.
That's not science. That's engineering.
No, that's science is what that is.
No, it's engineering. The manufacture of a refrigerator did not, the science did not move on with the creation of the refrigerator. Engineering.
Scientists discovered how refrigeration worked, man.
Before the refrigerator was created, yes. They just used scientific principles to create refrigerator. The refrigerator invention did not add to science.
Right. It was because he did the gases on it.
But that was done before the invention of the refrigerator. The refrigerator used scientific principles to work out how to build a refrigerator. The refrigerator did not create any science.
Science is all about keeping your beer cold in the moonlight. That's what science is.
What we want to think is that just in the last 100 years, we have all these smart people come of age. And now y'all seem to know the answer to everything over here.
We've been joined by Brenda. Would you say a quick hello to Brenda? How you doing, Brenda?
Good afternoon.
Hi, Brenda.
What y'all talking about now?
They get knocked out here on a Friday where the earthers are coming in here.
Could I please?
Y'all been sliding through this week. I didn't get to listen. I didn't get to get on any of the shows this week.
But flat earthers don't believe in science, don't care about the truth, and don't understand science.
I understand science just fine.
We were just talking
about refrigerators.
You just
proved how about an engine? How about the cars? You don't think they're using? You don't think their scientists are building cars right now? You don't think that?
Well, Ali B's a scientist.
No, they're not.
To speak.
Engineers build cars.
No, I just had a question when what that other guy was saying about in the last 100 years or so. It's just my question is, or my thought anyway, a question, not for a gotcha or anything like that. I was just wondering that how come it was just like in the last 400, if we've been around, this isn't a creationist thing, but how come all of a sudden, because if we look back in the ages, there was some great inventions, the Egyptians and all blah, blah, this and that. But how did the transition come from that to suddenly, because they could use metals and stuff like that. There was philosophers then, there was engineers, there was the same. I just wondered why, like just in the last 400 years, not a conspiracy theory, it was just a question.
Right.
Why in the last 400
years, huge development in science because of
There's a very good reason for that.
Newton developed things like calculus and light. We suddenly developed a whole wad of maths that meant that we could do all sorts of clever things.
There's an even more fundamental reason for that. Can I answer that question?
Printing helped.
Right.
Geometry was invented thousands of years ago, though. And arithmetic was thousands of years ago it got invented. So Newton was doing nothing new.
Can I answer that question, please?
Yeah,
okay. It's not got anything to do with individual discoveries or inventions. What it's got to do with the explosion that we've had is a thing called the scientific method.
Yeah.
Therein lies the ability for us to advance. You must understand that before the scientific method was introduced,
they had all that.
People investigated things. People, can you please not talk over me?
Well, actually, I will. I've been just trying to get I'm just interjecting.
Seriously?
Seriously? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Can I finish?
Yeah, I'm going to stop you because I know what you're going to say. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Let him respond.
Can you let me say it, please? Can you let me say it?
But I know what you're going to say. Pointless. I know what you're going to say, but you're still missing the point.
Well, then can you let me say it?
Listen.
Can you let me say it, please?
They had the same intelligence in them days as they did 400 years ago. And it's absurd to think they invented loads of shit. Like alchemy was done way before Newton and Galileo and all these people.
Alchemy's never been done.
Way before that. And that's all this is with chemistry and stuff like that. It's all,
you let me finish my point, please?
It's all been done thousands of years ago, and that was just and you'll be wrong in your answer.
Can you let me finish my point?
Yes, I will now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Stop talking over me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Get back to my point now. The scientific method is the thing that let us advance. Before the scientific method came in, people investigated things, but they kept them secret. They didn't share. If a person discovered a piece of knowledge, they kept it to themselves and they didn't let other people know.
That's not the scientific method. The scientific method that's not the scientific method.
Well, it is. Well,
no. The scientific method is all about, as well as the peer review, which is what you're basically getting at, is the idea of a hypothesis matching it against experiment. That's what the scientific method is. Not necessarily whether you keep it secret or not. You can still have a scientific method like Leonardo da Vinci, who kept most of his stuff secret, but he still employed a scientific method in doing what he did. But his discoveries were kept secret for about 150 years or so. So he didn't actually influence as many people as they did.
It's the sharing of the discoveries from the scientific method. That's the important part. The creation of the Royal Society.
Yeah,
the Royal Society, where they got together and they shared their ideas.
Yeah.
Well, that and the elimination of religious intolerance and dogmatism that suppressed science, because the difference between religion and science, and flat Earth is a religion because it is based on the word of men, and science is against the words of men. That's why they hate it so much.
But hang on, because obviously I'm a Christian. Like, I always say that. But isn't a lot of science started by Christians in the first place, or people who were Christian?
Yeah,
when you talk about stuff, you have to talk about stuff in the last 100 years. You can't be going back over the age of where we've been living at, because people were riding on carriages before that. You know what I'm saying? So
no, we don't know what you're saying. That's completely nonsense point. Yes, it was gibberish.
You can't. Those people were different than these people today are.
Who are these people?
People thought different. They were a completely different class of people. Most of those people were high class. We got a lot of trash around here now, but that's all right. Go ahead.
Hey, David, can you stop screen sharing, please?
I was wanting to show you my Getty image over here. I want to show you my map that I found. Y'all been looking for a map.
Yeah,
here's one from Getty Images. You like that one? That was pretty good. Can I ask you a question? Let me just ask you a question. Why is Australia shaped like this on this map? But if you go to Google Images and you push in Australia, it doesn't look anything like this.
Because that's the nature of this map projection, David.
No, this is the new one that just came out from Getty Images.
No, there's nothing really new about that, David.
No, it is. No,
Did you make that?
to buy this map, you have to pay $350 to buy this map. You see this map right here?
David.
It's just an azimuth for equidistant projection, David.
I know it's
Get the
fine,
images.
Have you started drinking already?
I could make that image in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes in Photoshop, I could scale it up and print it out for you. The printing would cost you money.
So
What's
all
accurate, David? What's accurate about it?
It take me 5 minutes in Photoshop to do that.
Is this your map or is this the flat Earth map here?
Not a map
It looks
at all.
pretty
It's a
much like
projection.
a globe.
There's millions of people on Earth that could do that in Photoshop right now. It would take
Is that a globe map or is that a flat map right there?
Highly distorted.
What's it? There's a phrase it's used for radio.
Knockout. Y'all go ahead. Go waffle around. Is that a ball map?
No, it's a
flat map.
It's a projection used by people who radio hams use that as a projection.
That's an
azimuth. Thank you. Yes, that's right. An azimuth map.
Are these 7 continents to scale right here, or is that?
No, they're highly distorted, David. What do you not understand about the word distorted?
So I mean, we are in 2018. How come I can't go to Easy Mart and buy a map of the world, huh?
You can.
You live in the future, David, do you?
I'm serious. How come I can't get a map of the rest of these continents? Where do you buy them at?
You can, David. You can get maps.
Sure you can. Sure you can. Where are they at?
What do you expect out of the map, David? What do you expect from the map?
Well, all of your theories are done off of a map that you don't have. Okay.
No, we have a globe, David. All flat maps are going to have some elements of distortion to them. That's the nature of the beast here. Because the Earth is a sphere. If the Earth were flat, it could be mapped flat accurately without
We're just talking about the land. We're not talking about the water. We're talking about the land. We just want to see a map of the land, not the water.
We don't care about that, David. Now, how many?
Yeah, we'll go next subject. We'll get back to that.
You're familiar with Google Maps, are you, David? You familiar with Google Maps, are you?
Oh, he's a troll.
David has a monomaniacal obsession.
I just asked y'all if that was a flat map or a globe map, and none of y'all would answer. We did
answer.
It's a special projection which flat earthers like, but it's just projection.
Can I actually see a globe projection, please?
What?
An actual globe projection of a map of the world.
You just saw one.
No, that's not. You just told me it wasn't it.
Yeah, it is.
It is a
based on the
projection
globe.
from the globe.
It's incapable of understanding.
Are the continents to scale? Are the continents to scale on that?
No, they're not.
Okay, where's a map? Where's a map that shows the continents to scale?
Use Google Maps.
David, we have to.
What do you mean use Google Maps? I want to see it laid out on a 10 by 10 wall or something.
Well, that's
David,
flat, isn't it?
Try to limit your conversation to trucking and fishing line. Let's talk stuff you know here.
Well, it's Friday here. We gotta get on y'all a little bit.
What are we gonna do with this fishing line, David? How big does a swimming pool have to be to prove the flatness of the Earth?
I like the stake idea. What I was thinking the other day is, you know how you got those reflectors every mile on the road, like you're going down the road and they have the reflector every mile where it has a mile marker.
Yeah,
maybe even every tenth of a mile.
How many miles would I have to get? You take them all 5 foot off the ground, and you line them up. How many miles in a line would it take for you to think the Earth's flat? If you could see them one right after another for 500
you need to have them all the same height above a flat surface, right?
All you do is go down to sea level. All you do is go to sea level, right? So you do it down a beach. You do it all the way down a beach.
Maybe we could do it.
How many mile markers have you seen in the sea, Dave?
Over a body of water, like say a canal, like maybe in England, like Bedford.
You do it right on the beach.
What about Louisiana?
And you just take tide into account. And you just take it. You put it right on 1 foot off 1 foot off a high tide.
Yeah, David, you could do this in Louisiana too.
I hear there's a lake called Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We know about y'all's little phony stuff you pull over there. I've seen it.
Have you heard of the Little Tensas Bayou, David?
Well, I've already seen all that.
You haven't seen it all. You haven't seen it all, brother.
Speaking of Soundly, his latest videos of the hotels and of the planes are simply stunning. They're just gorgeous.
Absolutely. Yep.
I haven't looked at his recent ones.
You
taken
can't hide a whole building.
So, David, if you
You
think
can't
it's all
hide a whole building on a flat Earth.
So, David, if you think it's all bollocks, why don't you go to Lake Pontchartrain, go and get your camera out, your high-res camera, zoom in, and then you can see the curve for yourself along that bridge. No one else has to be involved. You can do it yourself, and you can confirm the curvature of the Earth just by doing that all by yourself.
Well, we've shown that to them multiple times, and they simply deny it.
Yeah, but he thinks it's a
I go to Google and just go Lake Pontchartrain photos and go to images on Google, and every one of those images that come up besides the one that y'all are showing is all showing flat. So what do you want to say about that? Just go to Google Images and push in Lake Pontchartrain, and 500 photos will come up of it, and they're all look like it's level as can be to me.
Show us one. Show us one.
I was going to say, let's do it, David.
Google Images.
Can you do it,
No,
David?
you show us one. You're making a claim. Show us the evidence.
Hold on a second. I'll go over here.
Oh, well, yeah, well, hold on. I'm more than happy.
How many meters of that mast was missing? You know, the big mast at the back that was on the other side of the shore. How many meters was it? Does anybody remember?
What are you talking?
Yeah, you need to show us what you're talking about.
The curvature one. He took one of the, I think it was the film. I'm not sure. You know, the one with the funny looking pylon. People were saying, "Oh, it's it was reflecting." There's the one with the pylons going over the curve, yeah. But you could see across the other side of the water, you could see a big pylon. I think it was 200 and something feet tall, but I think there was 100 foot missing or something, and it worked out with the curvature.
So it agrees with the curve there, okay?
Yeah, well, let me. But I was just going to say though, well, that big pylon there, right? That's part of the. There's a nuclear power station over there on Lake Pontchartrain, yeah, and you can actually see the shoreline when you zoom in, and you can see buildings and you can go to Google Maps and look at them, and you can actually see the buildings there that wouldn't be seen over the horizon, but you can clearly see, and you can actually see the trees.
Show us the picture. If you're just telling us that, I don't think we can.
I bet this railroad track over here. I bet this railroad track's built.
Yeah, but that's not. You're only looking about 200 yards along it. Well, you want to look along the length of it and see what I think is it 10 miles long or something. If you just look at a 200 or 300 yard section of it, that's irrelevant.
How about this railroad track right here?
Yes, it's only 200 yards.
Over Lake Pontchartrain. How about nobody's walked over and looked at it, huh?
You want to look along it into the distance.
Look at that. I bet that's level all the way across, and you could really figure it out easy. All you do is hop in the cab.
Only 200 yards of track. What's the point of trying tracks?
You can tell it's
200 yards of track.
Man, that's across Lake Pontchartrain right there. That railroad track is.
David, that's not across the lake. 200 yards
is across the lake right there.
Wait, David, in order to...
That's only a small portion of it.
That he's showing, you need to zoom. You need to go out.
I bet that's flat right there. How much you want to bet?
And miles.
All the way across. I'll lay $1,000 on that.
Show us a picture of looking along the track into the distance, so we can see the far end, say about 6 or 7 miles away.
If you went down here on this, I bet that water line would be
you
even
can bet
all
what
the
you
way
like.
across.
There's no point in showing us a track.
You went all the way across this right here on this railroad track. It would be
to show us a track going about 6 miles. There's no point.
How about you go there, David, and put your camera on the track and look along the track?
Yes.
Maybe I'll do that. I'm not too far from Louisiana.
I mean, David, the mere fact that you think that this picture is evidence
for flat Earth, I'm going to take my dog down there and I'm going to walk across
very poorly on your IQ if you don't understand what you have to do to demonstrate curvature.
You can go down there and stick a stick down. All you do is you take a measuring stick and you go down there and you stick it to the bottom. I bet it's level all the way across.
Well, you can bet what you like, but the pictures don't agree with you. David's evidence. If you take a picture along the track, you will see it bending. The evidence disagrees with what you're betting.
Is this the first time meeting him, Rumpus?
Yeah, Rumpus, you don't understand.
He's an absolute moron, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe. We're not sure.
I mean, even I thought a flat earther wouldn't present us with 200 yards of track and say, "Look, there you are. The Earth is flat." I mean, even a basic flat earthers understand.
Y'all said
you've got to
pull
look
up
along
all
the
the pictures
track.
of Lake Pontchartrain, showing the world's longest bridge over Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah, but you're only looking at 200 yards of it, for Christ's sake. There's no point.
Look, here's a few more pictures of it. I got a whole bunch more pictures of it.
Yeah,
Look, there you
right,
go.
we need a right, David. I'll explain it to you. You need a picture that goes
a whole bunch of them.
the track. Do you understand, David? We need a picture of the track looking along it into the distance so that we can see, say, 6 or 7 miles into the distance. That's the sort of picture we need.
I think trains prove flat Earth.
How come he's in troll? Come on.
So he's simply impervious. He's simply impervious. David, you willing to put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah, of course. That's what I said. I'll put $1,000 at that. I put $1,000 as that bridge is level all the way across.
You're going to put $1,000 into an escrow account.
I do that.
Is level.
Sign a contract. You're going to sign a contract on the condition.
I do that. If somebody will match it, I'll do it.
The bridge probably is level all the way across.
It probably
it is. You know it is curved, so shut up over there.
It's curved. It can be level.
Y'all already lost. Ding, ding, knockout. Next subject.
You have to understand, David is the world's premier geodetic truck driver.
I didn't think people came quite stupid as him. I mean, that's quite impressive.
More respect
to show us a picture of 200 yards worth of track and then claim that's indication that it's flatness. That takes some beating, actually. I can't.
He's actually already beat this. This is probably one of his better ones.
Really? Oh my God. That's special. Jesus Christ.
David, do you know what the Marriott Hotel looks like in New Orleans? Can you pull up a picture of that?
It's been a long time. I just drove through there. I didn't stop.
Do you know what it looks like?
Have you
You go ahead and pull it up. I'm already tired of typing over here.
Have you ever gotten beads thrown at you in New Orleans, David?
I've never partied in New Orleans.
Oh, you never been down there? I thought you might be the type to collect beads there.
No, I had never partied down there.
Oh my God.
Did Marriott Hotel? Is this the Marriott Hotel? I'm sharing now. Is this the Marriott Hotel in New Orleans?
What's this
sure
say?
That's Marriott on the side, so I would assume it is.
Yeah.
So we are coming up on about 1 hour of this broadcast, so I'll run through my links and then I'll pass you back to the action in a moment. So if you are new to this channel or you have not done so already, which is about 50% of the people watching this, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, then there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, so toss a buck or two in there if you are enjoying these live streams, and most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. Currently we have a full panel of 10 people, so you may have a bit of trouble till someone has a network error or drops, but when they do, feel free to click that link and join the discussion. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, and if you are, please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You've probably seen if you're in the live chat now that I've been asking people continually to share the show, as it does increase the live audience, of course, and that in turn increases the likelihood of a more diverse panel. So please share the show, and a massive thank you to all who have done that already. One more time, if you have not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Come on, Ali. Come on.
Ali?
Ali's got this. He's got this.
Yeah, Ali comes up with good stuff.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of finding this picture, so carry on, guys.
But you just click
if you look into,
I've got the photograph, right? I found it. I found the one I was talking about, but I'm just going to.
Move on. Could you comment on?
Where's Riley at? We need to get Riley in here to beat up on y'all for a little bit.
You comment on the picture we're showing now, Ali.
Yeah, well, let him finish. If he's looking, let him finish researching whatever he's trying to research. So, I mean, David, you must have the IQ of a vegetable or something. I mean, do you find that people say you're rather stupid in real life? I mean, it's just extraordinary the things you're saying.
I think he's trolling myself.
I like it. Dave's actually awesome. I don't know Dave. You love him.
David, if it was end of the world scenario, you'd rather be with me than you that.
Hey, David, explain to him how to calculate the weight of the ISS.
Come on now, they'll start that up now. Where's Lewis at?
14.7 pounds times the.
No, it's how many Pepsi cans does it take to make a space station?
No, 14.7 pounds per square inch times the surface area.
Match. That sure is a good match.
Yeah.
It is an excellent match, isn't it? Let's go back to that.
The picture now, if Nathan wants to share it.
I predict that.
Why you show that one? Show that railroad track. We need some more pictures of that railroad track, I guess.
Absolutely.
No. I'm just going to show you something.
Let me see if I can find it.
You're presenting now, Ali.
No, am I? Right, good. Right, let me see it. I'm going to try and zoom it in, and I'll just show you what Is that zooming in?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Right, can you see this here? There's a better picture. I just couldn't find it. But see these here, right? You can obviously see these are buildings here, right?
Horribly low resolution for me. I don't know.
It is, but there's a better picture. It's just this is just. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me finish speaking. This was just a quickie. There is a better one out there, but I can't seem to find it. And you can see there's a tree line now. The problem is, we know that's the horizon there, right? Now that's depending how high up he was. I can't remember.
What's the time? Can you tell me what the time stamp of that video is, and I'll go and get a better grab or something?
It's actually a photograph, and it was off Google Images, but I think
sure.
Yeah, this is off of Google Images, but this is the same shot I was talking about. But you can actually see on the buildings that are attached. There's a nuclear power plant just behind this pylon.
Yeah, we can't see this, I'm afraid, Ali. I think there's very little point in you pointing at something.
Wait a minute.
I've got one for you for Lake Pontchartrain. Here, check this one out.
Let Ali give his presentation.
Never mind, that's it. There we go. Fine.
Yeah.
Office guy. Yeah.
So that was what was that supposed to show, Ali?
Nice one.
What was that supposed to demonstrate to us?
Right. If I can finish then. As you noticed, the pylon started sloping away, right? Now, we could only see that horizon line. So obviously that was the horizon, or that was the beginning of the curvature where the pylon sloped away and there was apparently so many how many feet was missing off that pylon there, and you could clearly see, right, that the trees were higher than the pylons that were in the foreground, just at the horizon.
There were no trees. There were no trees in that image.
How do you know how they were?
Stop a second, please. Stop a second. Let me finish, right? As I already said, there's a better picture. There's a bit. Well, you listen, please. There's a better picture out there.
The way you do, or the way you want us to?
Come on, I actually want.
Well, wait a minute. Listen. Can I finish? There's a better resolution, right? There's a better resolution out there that you can see the actual buildings that are attached to the nuclear power station that's across the other side, right? And you can go to Google Maps. I will find a better resolution.
Yeah,
picture.
I think you need to. I think, Ali. I think you're not really making.
I'm just saying. So now, if you can, how would you explain that then?
Yeah, I think
I bet you every log that was cut for that rail bridge, they were all the same length. I bet that all the way across, it didn't matter. I bet every log was cut to scale.
That's not what
what are you talking about?
Ali's asking.
No, I've finished.
Yes, if you get as long as you can show that actually is a tree, because you can't really tell, obviously, from our perspective.
No, you can see buildings and trees. I'll definitely find it. Yeah. Why am I going to lie about it? I'm not going to make.
I know you.
I won't. But I'll find that. But I was just wondering, right? If you could see that, right, how would you explain that? Because you can clearly see after 4 miles or 5 miles, the pylons start going.
Well, it would depend on Ali, it would depend on how high that building is. It would depend on how high the observer is, and it would depend on how far away it was from the observer. We would have to know all of those things to give you an answer to that question.
Sorry, guys, can I just interrupt you and say hello to Pete Southend, who's just joined us? Sorry to interrupt you all. Can you say a quick hello, Pete?
Hitler was a good person. He's just misunderstood.
Good to have you here, P.
I read books as well, P. Mars.
How much does a train weigh? Do you imagine how much a train weighs? You think they built a bridge to going around the curvature of the Earth? You think there's a bridge made for trains that shows the curvature of the Earth? Do you believe that?
Is it pressurized? Is the train pressurized?
Do you believe there's a train bridge that trains is made especially for trains that's curved to the Earth's surface? Huh?
If it's
where's that scientist at? Pull that one out.
If it's the same height above the water, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Here's an image I found of this is the
level Earth, huh?
The pylons, whatever. This is the set of pylons. I think they go across north to south, don't they? Across Lake Pontchartrain. I don't think that was the. I don't think it was yours.
They're all level, man.
Well, you can see they're curved. You can clearly see they're not. Yeah, they're level in the sense they're the same distance above the surface.
I showed you the same picture a minute ago and it was flat. So what do you want to do? It's the way the camera is.
No. You did not show us a picture along the line. You just showed us 200 yards. This picture here covers, I suspect, about 6 or 7 miles. So that's what.
So they took it. So you really think the guys that built that took into account of the curvature of the Earth? You think that, huh?
They didn't have to.
They didn't have to because the water was just curving because that's what water does.
That's what it does. That's right. It does curve over a distance of 10 miles or so. It does.
Sure, it does.
Good. Prove that. There's the evidence.
No,
there's the picture evidence in front of you. Is the demonstration that it's curving?
No, that's a camera that's jacked up. Is what that is.
No, but that was irrelevant. It's this curving. You can see that it's changing its angle. It's irrelevant where you put the camera to get a curve.
I see pictures of Santa Claus all over town right now too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
David,
the slight bit different. What you do or what you see.
Thing of
I like my train picture. I tell you this. I tell you this. If there's any curvature of the Earth over a lake, and that train would change RPMs as it was going across that bridge. Okay.
Right, what you don't understand?
It sure would. What are you talking about? It wouldn't change RPM because it's got.
Why? It's not going uphill. Right.
Either it's going to come off of it. You're crazy because it is. Think about how long a train is. Okay.
Let's discuss the change in elevation versus.
Where's your scientist at that'll tell you how you take the length of a train and you take it over water, and you can prove there's a curve. If you got a train that's a half mile long, then you should be able to tell somewhere on that train going across. So you try to tell these stories, but you had no proof because there's no proof on the ground.
Again, mate.
Okay, there's no proof on the ground other than a photo that y'all take. Okay.
There's
no proof on the ground.
If you can, Rumpus, if you want to show that picture again, you just showed.
Well, I actually wanted to show this picture. I don't know if can you see my
yeah.
Right. This is something I don't think David appreciates. Can you see this? This is a model of my model of the Earth that I've used for some time. Can you see this point here where it says A0? Can you see that?
I already seen this. You already seen you do this the other day.
Okay. Well, no. Well, I hadn't done this for about 6 months, so I'm pretty surprised if you've seen
Somebody had one just like it. It wasn't exactly like this.
Okay. Well, right. Can you see the where it says A0?
I understand. Go ahead. How many miles is it? How many feet is it?
Can you please answer the question? Can you see where it says A0?
I understand that. I just want to know how many feet it is.
Say yes or no. Can you see A0?
You go ahead and explain it to yourself like that. I don't believe it.
I want to know if you can see the detail.
You can go ahead and try. Man, I'm not worried about your horizons, man. I'm worried about how many feet it is until the curve starts.
I just want to know if you can see the pixels. That's all I'm asking. Can you see the words A0?
I can see your stuff over here. Go ahead.
Right, that's all I wanted to know. Right. So do you understand that something here at A0 is at the same height as something down here, which is not got a pointer to it, but if you can see my pointer, hopefully you can see my pointer, which is wiggling around here. that is at the same height as well. So if you had a train track going from all the way from A0 all the way to this base of this building, which is a model of the one in Chicago, I forgot his bloody name now, the third tallest building in the US. All those points along there at the same height, although it's curved, all the points on there are the same height. So if you had a train, as long as that's this distance here would be about 2,000 miles in this model, or 3,000 miles. Even if there was a train 3,000 miles long going from there to there on this curved surface, every single point on that train would be exactly the same height. It's not going uphill, it's not going downhill, because as I've indicated here, down points to the center of the Earth. So the direction of down and up changes as you move along the surface of the Earth.
And all that is because of gravity, right?
They don't understand that, Ron.
All those conclusions are come because of gravity. Is that correct?
Well, gravity.
So we don't want to hear it. There's people that believe in the flat Earth don't believe in gravity the way that y'all explain.
Well, if you've got something in your hand, you let go of it. Gravity is demonstrated. The mere fact of you dropping something from your hand.
Well, it's more dense.
And you got the ISS up there floating around too. So what do you want to say about that? How's gravity holding it up?
Holding what up? I missed the word. Sorry.
The ISS.
Oh,
it's inside our atmosphere, so how's it holding it up?
Right,
huh?
okay.
But it's holding it up.
Right. Have you ever spun something?
Hold
on. Have you ever spun something round on the end of a string? So if you spin something, have an apple or something on the end of a string, and you spin it round.
How about them things you used to buy at the dollar store that had the little ball on it where you could hit it back?
Okay, well, never mind when you bought it. The point is, you're familiar with the concept, are you, of spinning something around and it's staying upright. So if you spin something around at going at very high speed, it can defy gravity. And that's what the ISS does. It's going around at 17,000 miles an hour. It's going around very, very quickly. If it was stationary, it would fall to Earth immediately. But because it's going around very, very quickly, just like something you were spinning on the end of a
friction
cord.
Up there? Is there any friction where it's at, huh?
Very little friction. It's almost
very
friction-free.
So
there's very little,
there is friction, right?
There's a little bit of atmosphere.
So how's it traveling 17,000 miles an hour against friction, huh?
Well, no, there's very little. It's almost a vacuum, very nearly.
So how's it being powered? How's it being powered then?
Yes,
well, once you get up that, you did see the big rockets. You are familiar with what happens.
No, you don't. You're going to talk yourself in a corner over here. You keep
Hold
on.
Listen for a moment. You are familiar with watching rocket launches, aren't you? You know those big engine
things. They don't believe in rockets. They don't believe in rockets.
Y'all better come in and save him. He already got knocked out a couple times over here.
Hold on. You're familiar with the space shuttle and those big rockety things that stick out things. You're familiar with those, are you? That's how it gets up to speed. Once it points, it points at an angle to once you get to point horizontally towards the Earth, and you go at 17,000 miles an hour, just like a core, something spinning on the end of a rotating cord, it can stay there, particularly because there's very, very little friction. It's almost zero, but it's not quite zero. So therefore, there's nothing to slow it down, and therefore, once it gets into orbit, it will stay there. It doesn't need to fire any more rockets, although there's a tiny, tiny, tiny element of friction. You do have to give it a little.
30 pounds per square inch, and they were telling me that thing's as big as a box car or a tank car. Weighs like 440 tons or something.
So what?
Do you count for dark
give me
matter?
A break on that. I'd have to see it to believe it.
Well, you can. You can look up into the sky and you can see the space station. Go ahead and take pictures of it, like some people have.
Maybe I can do it on Lake Pontchartrain Bridge and do that.
You can take your own pictures of the space station. You can take your own pictures of Lake Pontchartrain and see the curvature as that picture that I showed you. You can do both of those things yourself and see the evidence of the space station, and you can see the evidence of the curvature of the Earth. Very simple.
I go drive 1,000 miles and figure that out.
Well, go on then, do it. Yeah, if you'd be better than spending $1,000 on us, save yourself a lot of money doing that. How much it costs you to get down to Lake
Pontchartrain. No one believes your story that it's all flat and level. Okay, man, it's on a ball. Okay, there's an up and a down. There's a side. It's curves. Okay, there's a curve somewhere. Where's it at? How many miles until you get to it?
You have to lay fish line across the train.
Where's the place in Earth where you can measure curvature at? Where you ought to have like the Ball Earth Curvature Museum or resort where people can go and see the curvature of the Earth.
500 years ago, children understand it.
The Ball Earth Curvature.
But
what do you want to know about it?
David is not. David, you could do that. A troll, Rumpus. He's a troll.
No, I think he's genuinely stupid. I think the way he's talking, you can see he's just very, very stupid.
And honestly, it's up for debate.
No, because you see, I think people do assume people are trolling when they're not, and you just got to allow for the fact that people are very, very stupid. And you can just say the way
you need to see his channel.
And you can see his English and the ways he forms sentences and the other stupid arguments he makes. He clearly is very stupid. He's not intelligent enough to be a troll.
You go ahead. You go ahead. You already got knocked out. You can get up and get knocked out again. Go ahead.
You're too stupid to realize
nobody believes your story, okay?
Everyone believes the evidence.
Nobody believes your pictures over here.
I showed you a picture of the curving pylon line.
Just show us a place where we could go and see that curvature you're talking about.
Lake Pontchartrain. I've just said it.
Go to Lake Pontchartrain and look along the tracks.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can do it.
Well,
and you can do it yourself.
You need to put up $1,000 then. I'll go over to the railroad bridge and you go to Lake Pontchartrain. We'll see.
Okay, you do that. Well, you will be surprised if you get out. You need
Nobody
a decent
believes
sized
that
camera.
story.
You need a camera with a decent zoom on it, and you yourself can go and
so
see.
You telling me you had a reflector up above the water, a foot above the water, reflector up all the way down for how many miles across?
What's a reflector got to do with anything?
You think that they would come offline at some point? Huh?
So what's a reflector? What are you talking about? You're talking about reflectors. I'm just saying, just take a camera.
How about if I stretch? We'll go back to the fishing line for curve over here. You think if I had an imaginary fishing line and stretched it across, it would just. You wouldn't know, and it was level all the way across, that it would be going around the earth, right?
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Just like this diagram, David. It curves here, and if you were this eye at A0, and then you could go to this building, your fishing line on the surface of the water would follow this line here, and every single part of it would be at the same height, even though it's going around a curve.
For how many miles is that?
On this model, if this was the Earth, that'd be about 3,000 miles on my model here.
All right, then. So we're up to 3,000 miles to the curve now.
Oh no, you can detect it.
Y'all say we can see it. You say we can see it on 6 miles, but we're at 3,000 miles now.
Well, no, you can see it on the Lake Pontchartrain. You only need about 6 or 7 to get that picture I showed you earlier.
So you should be able to measure it then. Is that right? Can you measure it?
Of course you can.
Okay, how do you do it?
Well,
Come on, genius, hurry up.
Right, George Natty.
Starting to stutter over here. He's starting to sound like a stuttering fool over there. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt the Rumpus. Sorry to interrupt just a second.
The
Rumpus, sorry to interrupt you. Can you just stop screen sharing just so I can let it flick between who's speaking?
Okay.
Thank you.
This is a debate over here. You go ahead and try back me in on corner. I'm not worried about it.
You want me to stop screen sharing? Okay.
So is it 3,000 miles or 6 miles?
You can go and to Lake Pontchartrain, showing that picture that I showed you earlier. I'll just go and get that again.
I want to measure it with a ruling tape, man.
Fishing line.
How about a ruler? Where can you measure that curve with a ruler, huh?
Well,
how come I've never seen the ballers out there showing me the curve with a ruler somewhere? We're at the curve. Here's the curve. We got the curve. We found the curve, folks.
Hey,
look,
Dave,
the ballers win.
Put a ruler.
Dave, go buy a 7-mile-long ruler.
The mania is setting in. A little bit of mania, pressured speech.
I mean, the drop.
The mental bit. Just a little bit.
Your man over here is telling us that we can measure it with a ruler over here, guys.
Well, the drop of is what, 3 inches for a mile. Was it 6 inches? I can't remember now. So unfortunately to do that is a precision measuring exercise, and I suspect you're barely capable of putting your trousers on. So the idea of you sorting out the engineering,
I already told you how to do it. All you do if there's even 3 inches with that big old train going across there. You have no idea. You'd feel it. I promise you.
No, you wouldn't, because it's at the same height. As I explained to you,
would be able to measure it some way. You would be able to measure it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
because you're not going uphill. You're at the same height, with the same distance from the center of the Earth. Therefore, there's no change in your height.
Part of the train's going to be another part, man, because it's so long against that bridge.
I'm going to have to show a diagram again. You didn't understand.
You don't understand. If you have 100 boxcars lined up behind that thing, okay. It doesn't matter if it's a 3 centimeter grade, that you're going to feel it, okay?
You didn't understand my diagram, did you?
No, I understand completely. I know how things work. I'm not stupid, okay?
At A0 here, you're exactly the same height as you are down here. Exactly the same height.
You go ahead and believe that.
Difference. There is no difference.
Go ahead and believe that. I'm not worried about it.
So there is no centimeter difference. You're not having to go up a centimeter hill, and you might think
That
from this
whole
diagram
thing's done
you're
by
going
gravity.
downhill, but you're not,
You're
because
saying we live on a
down,
ball and the gravity's holding you to the ball, so you don't notice it. That's what you're
see
saying.
down here, that's where down is. Down is there, and up here, down is there. Down changes direction.
Okay, let me ask you something. If there was no gravity, would you feel the down? If you were riding, if there was no water, right? And you were if you were on the ground, right?
There is
And
gravity.
you took away the gravity, right? But you had a track that was hooked to the ground, right?
Under your trousers, under the belt of your trousers, you'll discover there's gravity.
Would you?
You'll discover the gravity. Keeping your trousers will pull your trousers down. If you manage to put your trousers on, that is, of course. And if you did manage to get your trousers on, you undid the belt, you'll suddenly discover that gravity will bring that towards the center of the earth. And if you were to take your trousers to somewhere many miles away, the trousers will go in a different direction, because they're always going to go to the center of the earth. And that will be in a different direction, depending on where you are on the surface of the earth. It'll always point to the center. So down changes. So there's no going uphill or downhill when you go along the surface of the earth as you've got into your little head. You keep on using the same argument. Oh, but if it was only a centimeter.
I asked you if there was no gravity, would there be an up and downhill?
Yes.
That's what I asked you.
Well, no, gravity defines what's up and down. Determines.
All right, then. Ding, ding, knockout. Gravity's a theory. Gravity's a theory. Okay.
No, it's not. Your trousers are subjected to gravity, and if you were to undo your belt, you'd see it manifest itself.
All right, next subject. Go ahead.
I can't believe I've got someone who's denying the existence of gravity, which you do realise that all gravity is the force that's applied to things towards the centre of the earth. That's all gravity is, nothing more.
What about dark matter?
They deny. Dark matter doesn't interact with regular matter.
Actually, it is more than that.
Well, it is a bit, yeah, okay. The curvature of space-time, but the laws developed around gravity, the effects that you experience are just simply that nothing more than the force. Gravity can manifest itself as a force, and that force is directed towards the centre of the earth. It has a magnitude, of course, so that's all you really need to know about it. It's a force, which means it's going to pull your trousers down, and it's pointing in a certain direction with a certain force. If you want,
can make a point with one word, Rumpus. Cavendish. That's what I'm getting.
Exactly. You could measure that.
They deny the Cavendish too.
Right, but I'm just saying it's not all about just to the center of the earth gravity.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, in that sense, yes. Gravity is just the attraction of masses. Yes. So yeah.
You should nominate David for DF of the Year, Rumpus.
Yeah.
No,
gravity doesn't explain like galactic motion.
This is Riley's year.
It does. Yeah, it does.
The other thing is, one thing I'd like to know is if you took a mile of fishing line and laid it across one of those train track rails, would it lay down flat or not?
Hold on, I got to take this phone call.
It's a mere theory.
I'm amazed he can use a telephone.
Oh, I love Dave. He's awesome.
I tell you, I bet his trousers, getting his trousers on is the most difficult intellectual task he faces each day.
I don't know. He's got a good point. I got money on the fishing line laying flat on the train track road.
God,
how high would you have to pull a fishing line in order to
just ask anyone who's going to come, please make it a flat earther. Who's going to come on? We need flat earthers.
Because even a fishing line is going to be subject to gravity.
But yeah, I'm just saying, come on,
I've not
guys.
heard from Mr. whatever his name is. I don't know, Mr. whatever your name is. Let's have a look. Mr. Full Curve. Flat Curve.
Do what?
What's that?
Just seeing, we've got 10 people on the panel, which means no one can get on. But I'm just.
Yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm just asking if a flat earther could join. It'd be awesome. So we have more fun.
I'll leave. I'll be leaving.
You're a flat earther, right? Stay.
You owe us a picture.
All right, anyway, guys, take care.
No need now.
Okay.
No need for anyone to leave now because Mr. Flat Curve's dropped, which is good of him. Thank you, Mr. Flat Curve. So there is now one gap on the panel.
How's your search coming, Ellie? Are you getting the better resolution with the tree?
Right, that's fine. It's a waste of yeah. I've got all I need to know anyway. I was just looking. I was just watching some videos of the.
So what is your evidence?
But I'm not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's a waste of time.
Are you going to show it?
No, I'm not.
So you don't have anything. You don't have anything.
No, yeah, I have absolutely nothing, and I'm hiding. and I made all that up, what I just said there. So, yeah,
Well,
so I'm not going to show anything. So once again, the ballers win. Good for you guys.
If you have something, you can show it, Ali. That's the way we do.
But see, the thing is, if I show it, everybody just jumps on it. There's no real point. I've already sort of learnt that anyway. So,
well, wouldn't the
I
point?
was just coming in for a chat. I was just coming in for a wee general chat. I just wondered about that question. That question earlier on. That was it. It was, to me, it's a fascinating thing how science just turned up. No, but you know, when that was it. I was just wanting a chat.
That didn't make any sense at all. So when you can form complete sentences, let us know.
Yeah. Okay. No problems, Brenda.
Yeah. So
you'll be the first. You'll be the first to know.
I'd like to. Yeah.
No problems. It's all good.
So the point in presenting something that people are going to shoot down is to have them shoot it down, so that you can adjust your beliefs accordingly. If you present something and people demonstrate to you that it is wrong, then that is a good thing, because then you can adjust your beliefs and say, "Oh, look, I was wrong. I need to change."
See, that's like a two-way thing, right? I know that if I get proven wrong, I'll totally, I've done U-turns loads of times, man. And I'm totally honest with myself. I'm not but if I thought it was going to be reciprocated, that if I got into a discussion with any ball earthers about this and saying, "Oh, isn't that interesting anyway," and blah blah, but you won't adjust your beliefs. Listen, listen. Excuse me, I'll let you talk. You won't adjust your beliefs, as you've proven before.
No,
on all these chats and stuff like that, you don't. None of yous actually change. You won't even entertain.
Ali's more open-minded than Brent.
You wouldn't entertain. Can I respond to that one with quite a reasonable answer?
Well, no, can I finish? Let me finish, actually, right? But just let me finish what I'm going to say. I'll just take 2 more seconds. But yous won't change your belief. You won't even entertain the fact you come from a adversarial standpoint, or most ball earthers do. Whereas, well, I can't talk for anybody else, but I'm certainly open. Listen, I'm certainly open, and there's plenty of proof out there. I'm certainly open because I'm into my satellites.
Give us your proof. Give us one piece of proof.
There you go.
Ali does he likes to believe in the moon landing. He believes in satellites and things. He is reasonable.
No, I don't believe in them. I know they happened. And I know satellites are real, and I know the ISS is real. It's not a belief. It's not a belief. It's knowledge, and I know they exist. So
can I respond? Can I respond?
Listen. Let's get something straight here.
While these guys start talking over each other, hopefully it'll settle down in a few more minutes. I hope you're all enjoying the debate thus far. We have a little over half an hour left on this debate stream, so if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you can keep up to date with these Flat Earth debates. If you would like to support this channel, there is a link to Super Chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is currently one gap on the panel. Simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. I'm giggling because I can see them all muting each other while I'm doing these links. So one more time, if you've not shared the show already, please click that share button, as it does increase the live audience, which in turn increases the diversity of the panel. And again, if you've not subscribed, be sure to smash that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Well, Ali, I would like to hear your you say there's lots of proof for the Flat Earth. Can you please present me with your very best piece of evidence for the Flat Earth?
Inertial navigation systems and spirit levels and theodolites.
Oh,
right. So you think spirit levels? You think spirit levels indicate a flat Earth? So that's very right. But as I've demonstrated to David with my diagram about flat Earth, the fact that down changes direction, you could, in theory,
you get a spirit level in you get a spirit level in what do you call it, a theodolite, and I've worked with them.
That's right. And in fact, with those, you can actually prove the Earth is round, because if you get a theodolite, and in fact, they're so sensitive these days. You only need to have them about 600 meters apart. If you set them one to be horizontal, and you set another one only 600 meters away, also to be horizontal, you'll see that the laser beams that come out of them actually do not cross horizontally. They actually cross going upwards. In fact, the very thing you suggested proves the Earth is spherical. And in fact, this is something that George Nathan did as well, that you can just show by just getting a theodolite 600 meters apart, and they'll cross over but not be horizontal. You will not, if you set them to be horizontal, they will not be looking into one another's lenses, because you can actually detect the curvature even over 600 meters. So in fact,
where you measure with you said we could measure it with a measuring stick, didn't you?
Stop a minute. Stop. Let me answer that, please, David. Let me address that. Well, the thing is, over 600 meters, that they've got an error margin on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's right, but it's within the error because they're so sensitive. Wait
a minute, to test the theodolite. But wait a minute, to test theodolites, they'll usually do measurements over 100 meters, kind of max. Let me finish. Okay. Because of the fact is, the error margin it gets worse as it goes. About 100 meters, you get plus or minus.
Yeah. Well, Ali, you can get some sensitive ones, and they will work over a distance of say 600 meters. And with them, you can demonstrate.
What's the make then? What's the make of that? What make?
Oh God, damn it! It's the one that George got. Also, and in fact, actually, Hogtie Champ has actually got one. I believe that would do that.
Nobody believes this story. Where's the video at? Go ahead and pull the video up. We got to see it.
No, it doesn't need a video, because I know about theodolites. No, I'm just wanting to know the name and the accuracy of it.
Okay, I'd have to go away and research that, Ali, but I happen to know that is possible because George Nathan, who did the experiment on the Canada ice sheet earlier.
Yeah, but to blast a laser 600 meters to be accurate, to hold its thing, you're going to need some charger battery.
Oh no, well actually, so when I mention lasers, you don't actually need. You can just use the crosshairs. You can just see that when you align it to be vertical, your theodolite, you can actually see where your crosshairs are. That if you look at the other theodolite 600 meters away, you'll see that if you've aligned horizontal, your crosshairs will be above the other theodolite. And if you actually do the measurements with that, you end up with quite a reasonable estimation.
Half a kilometer is a bit much for a theodolite. I'll question that. I don't. No,
there are 30 times. I mean, you're familiar. They go up to 30 times.
I have used them. Rumpus. I have used them. The laser levels and the dumpy.
Yeah. I shouldn't really have mentioned the laser levels. Sorry, the laser levels things actually I confused. I shouldn't have mentioned that. You can just do it by using crosshairs, and because the laser sort of diverges anyway by that time. So yes, it's much better just to use the crosshairs.
That's what I was right. Okay, so I was right there.
Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned the lasers. That's unnecessary. That's complete. We'll just forget the lasers at the moment. If you just use the crosshairs and you sight on you set it to be horizontal using the maximum resolution if you get a good theodolite, and you then look at another theodolite you've got 600 meters, which obviously has to be on flat ground. So if you put it, water, this is what George did. He actually used water to do this. He actually got, he put posts on ice that was just touching the top of water, so he knew that they were the right level. So obviously if you put a theodolite on some bumpy ground, you're going to get into trouble. But if you manage to get it to be pointing horizontal, line it, and you get another one some distance away also at the same height, so you've got to make sure the same height, you will see that it will not be at a horizontal. And so you can just with a simple experiment. So if you manage to find obviously, if you need, the trick is to find somewhere that's the same height, and that can be a little bit tricky. But George did it earlier this year on ice, which obviously, but then getting down to the lake level, and therefore he knew he was exactly the same height, and he was able to demonstrate this very thing.
We've been joined by Mark Smealer. I hope I'm saying that right? How you doing?
Okay, I'm a bit. Sorry.
How you doing, Mark? Earth to Mark. How you doing?
He's muted.
Say hello, Mark, or are you going to get ejected? About 5 seconds.
You've got to unmute your mic and speak, Mark.
Can you hear me now?
We can, just in the nick of time. How you doing? Good to have you here.
Right up to the wire, I bet.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks. I'm kind of new to the talking part of this, but what I wanted to say or ask is, perhaps, guys, have seen this a long time ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Seen a video where 3 flat earthers, basically one in the US, one in England, and one somewhere in Australia, were all looking at the same sun. For the life of me, I can't find it. I figured that this will help a lot of globe heads.
Is that Thrive and Survive you're talking about? The video he did then?
No.
I don't know who. I wish I knew
The
who.
black guy with glasses, black glasses.
D Marble.
I don't know what he.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what he looks like.
Marble, that guy. Yeah, sorry, Marble. Did that on Thrive and Survive, I think.
But if you guys could find it, and maybe if Nathan would be nice enough to post the link to it somewhere somehow, it would be really appreciated, because I know that something like that will definitely put it in perspective.
Yeah, I know the video, I think it's Thrive and Survive, one of the Marble one, either one. Seen it, he's talking bollocks. It's been refuted, I'm afraid.
Big shout out to Rob S for the super chat contribution. Thank you very much, Rob.
The Earth is tilted.
You got 3 people.
Right? The Earth is tilted.
Oh, of course.
So
no, I don't. But I know that
it's tilted at 66.6 degrees.
No, it's tilted at 23 degrees.
60. Yeah, I know.
It's 23.4, 66.6 degrees.
Right. So since
it's the other side, of the angle will be 66.6. They don't want to say flat out wide open for look, we picked a number with 3 6s in it. Just like, by the way, the Earth spins around its axis at 606 miles.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence.
Yeah, absolutely. 666.
Of course it is.
It's a
coincidence. When was it discovered? When was that discovered? When was that first put into the history books? Has anybody got that article? When that was discovered?
The Earth is tilted. The Earth is tilted.
I know, but when was that discovered? Who decided that? What was that person's name that decided
No one decided it.
No,
what do you mean nobody decided it?
No, it was decided. But here's the thing.
Who decided that?
For God only knows how long, the Bible and every single holy book out there said the Earth is flat. Then they decided to say the Earth is round. But every single time science tried to prove the Earth is round or it's spinning,
that's not what
happened. On its face.
That's not what happened.
Okay, then. Well, I'm thinking of the Morley experiment. Okay, the Michael.
The Earth is tilted. The Earth is tilted so that there are arrangements between the Earth and the Sun.
Who decided that?
Oh no, I can tell you. I can tell you why the Earth is tilted. You know why? Because if you put a Christmas tree on the North Pole and shake it, because of the tilt, all the fruits and nuts will land in San Francisco.
Yeah, that was really funny.
This guy's more stupid than
it's a joke.
So
Nice.
That takes some doing.
There are alignments where people who are below the equator can see the same sun that people above the equator can see it.
There seem to be a number of people, these flat earthers, who seem to think that there's one person or something has decided that something's true. We have the scientific method, as mentioned earlier.
Hey man, the refrigerator wasn't even invented in people's houses till 1910.
Is all about peer review of people across the planet make multiple experiments, and they all verify one another.
Every day, 100 years ago.
It's not just one person coming up with something. It's a whole body of people, institutions in various countries, all agreeing on the same thing. So it's not one person dictating a piece of information. It's everybody around the world checking everything, and through that they know they're coming to the right answer.
If that were true, we wouldn't get so much bunk science like climate change.
Yeah,
we absolutely do.
No, we don't.
You're totally full of crap, Rumpus. You have no idea what you're talking about.
You're an idiot. Obviously.
You're an idiot.
Give an example. Give an example, then, Pete. If you know this, give an example.
Guys.
Well, okay. There's a scientist named Victor Bloomberg who wrote a book called The Environmental Skeptic, and he was treated like the scientific community would have went after him like it was like a witch hunt because he didn't go along. He didn't go along with the Agenda 21.
He was wrong. I mean, some scientists will be wrong, but the body of scientific institutions, the scientific body of evidence of criticism,
that's not true.
That was a terrible statement.
Also, there's a book called
It was proved wrong
So someone writes a book on something, and then they get told off for saying it's crap. That makes them right, does it? So I could write a book now that says Pete is a moron, and that makes me right, does it?
Australian. What about the two Australian scientists that just got caught?
We could do a global. The ballers need to come out with some.
A minute, David. 1 second. They got caught fudging the water level data. They got caught hands down.
Always fudging statistics and data
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time.
You know
Like,
this.
what about when like the sugar corporations paid off scientists to make blame cholesterol for heart disease, and now we're finding out that cholesterol doesn't even affect heart disease at all, and it was all a scam by the sugar companies. What about that science?
The pharmaceutical
guy?
there is, yeah. I mean, obviously there are naughty people, naughty companies that do naughty things, but the body of science, still comes to a collective view based on each individual institution's doing experiment. But if some obviously becomes something novel, like there might be one institution that's being paid to be corrupt. Okay, that and then they advertise it. But if there be another institution, they come up with something that's supposedly a breakthrough. Another institution, another country will then check it, and they will then.
In theory, like what you say should be true, but the problem is power corrupts it, and then it's not about truth, and it's not what it meant out to be. Like the Bible and Jesus, his whole like idea isn't what the Catholic Church, like. In theory, these things are good ideas, but in practice, they get corrupted by evil psychopaths. That's the thing that you don't understand.
You're wandering off into religious issues here. We're talking about science at the moment.
No, I'm talking about science is a religion, moron. And you don't understand that the world is run by psychopaths, apparently, who are brainwashing and indoctrinating people. I don't understand why you can't grasp this concept. Like, don't you read? Do you study history? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're a moron. You don't understand.
No, you're a moron. You don't understand history. You don't understand how the world works. You don't know who runs the world. You don't know what the power of history
that the real world is
that control the movers and shakers. You have no idea what the hell is going on. You need to read more books.
Checks it. They come to an agreement and they say, "Oh, look, you were both right.
What you're talking
both did the experiments. You agreed." So then you come up with a consensus saying, "Yes, that was right."
What year was it discovered that the moon was 240,000 miles from here?
Irrelevant.
Oh, it doesn't matter what year, David.
I want to know who discovered that. I mean, that would be a pretty big discovery. I just discovered that the moon is
But David, it's being checked every day. Are you aware that we check?
You can't even show me a book that's in. I never even heard of the guy that did it.
Do you understand that the distance was his last name checked every day in modern using the reflectors put on there on the moon landings? It gets checked every day, the distance to the moon. So it's irrelevant what someone did 300 or 400 years ago.
What do you mean?
Irrelevant.
What do you mean? So you think it was 300 or 400,000 years ago?
No, I said 300 or 400 years ago.
300 or 400 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, though I suspect actually being able to tell
it was around that actually. It was around. I think I was reading a book about it the other day actually, David. It was, but the way that they found it out, it's shady the way they do their measurements. But it was a
parallel on the moon. You see, the thing about being on the moon, it should be quite possible to do it simply by asking someone on one side of the Earth to make the measurement to the moon, and someone else on another moon, and using the simple rules of triangles, you can then work out how far it is away.
Yeah, but you're moving. Remember, you've forgotten we're rotating at the same time. It's quite hard.
They've done the exact simultaneous measurements, Alex.
Rumpus, get off the panel, go read about like how the world works, and then come back.
I know exactly how the world works. You're obviously a deluded moron.
Okay.
Come on, none of us.
I think you just need to read more books.
No, I know.
Come on, we can both admit that. None of us know exactly
by saying moron.
He's a moron.
Hey, Dave.
He's a moron.
Dave. I'm sharing my screen. Have a look.
Rumpus just isn't well read.
My screen. Have a look on my screen. Right? It says the mean distance to the moon as determined by radar. These guys, they used radar. They bounced radar off the moon and determined the distance to the radar, to the moon by radar.
More of that elite scientism and spooky.
You can go and review this experiment yourself. You can go and find where it's been written up and verify it. For goodness sakes, they've given the names of blokes. You can actually, if they're still alive, you can contact them and ask them how they did it if you want to.
And it's not just one set of people.
It's been measured by radar.
and it's being checked by
That's
multiple
right.
people with different radar systems in different
It
countries.
said
with
that
different
the
institutions.
sun
It was
is.
done before then, though. It was done hundreds of years ago.
But it's
It
being done
was,
today.
but there are many,
Alex,
many
it's
ways
being
of
done
doing it.
today with modern laser
Hey,
stuff.
hey, listen. I'm not arguing, man. It doesn't matter whether I'm doing it
Stop
today.
talking
They've done
about it was done hundreds of
years
years ago.
ago.
It's being done today. Today
Yeah,
we're
but
making distance to the moon.
yeah, but
So it's irrelevant what happened hundreds of years ago.
Why?
First of all, who's
I don't
printing?
understand why.
Have you ever wondered who is printing the data?
If you keep on saying, you see, I think this is what the religious view. You keep on thinking if someone's thought something 300 or 400 years ago, that's been put into stone. Science is updated every single day, and every single day we update the distance to the moon because it's changing every day.
You're presuming too much.
So have y'all updated that it's a level Earth yet? Is that where what the next update's
I
going
was
to be?
thinking that, Dave. I would have said that if I was a flat earther.
Jesus.
The day they
update
finally
is
accept
the
it.
Earth is level. That's the new update in 2018 coming up.
That's pretty much true.
Ding ding, Dave. Ding ding.
Pretty
Dave.
much true.
If the moment they say it, NASA can't go grabbing $50 million a day. The moment they come out saying, "Look, we BS'd you for the last 100 years," we dumped God only knows how much money by now into NASA. And the fellow around there who's speaking that he knows the Bible and is saying Jesus this and Jesus that. I got news for you. What the Satanists wound up doing is they wound up introducing an entity called Jesus, not Jesus Christ, but Jesus into the mix. This way.
The Satanists conspire with the lizard people?
Ooh, I like this.
One and the same.
They're one
Who the hell says that?
The
so
lizard
everybody
people,
out there.
People are one and the same as the
They
Satanists.
Make his point.
Jesus. Come on. No, I think he actually.
Who do you think our creators look like? What do you think our creators look like?
Lizards?
Creators.
Lizards?
Creators, not just one. Yeah, one of them was lizards, little green men.
They were lizard people. They're lizard
And then
people,
there was some, and then there's something that looks a little bit like a.
You just
Aliens.
fairy stories. I mean, you
know.
might as well
Have any of y'all ever seen anything that no
So
one
is the
else?
goddamn Bible. It's a goddamn fairy story. Okay, they're all fairy stories. Just pick.
Hey, let me tell you, I saw a phoenix one time. You know what a phoenix is?
Big shout to Andrew for smashing that super chat. Thanks a million.
Concentrate your efforts on Lake Pontchartrain, David. Go there and you'll see the curve
No,
for yourself.
I was loading cars up over in Arlington, and I was at a car auction. It was in the middle of August, and I look up, and there's this bird, and it's 7 or 8 foot tall. It lands on a big power pole right above me, and I sit there and I look at it for about 10 minutes, and this thing was bigger than a man. And it looked like a bald eagle.
Was it on fire?
No, it wasn't on fire.
It looked like a bald eagle. It was the size of a bald eagle. I wonder what it was.
It was bigger than a man. It had probably a 20-foot wingspan
You saw
on it.
Big Bird. You saw Big Bird. Bird.
You're laughing at the guy who believes in lizard people is laughing at the guy who saw a big bird.
You know, the person. Who the hell out there says that we're the smartest in the goddamn galaxy? Who out there wants to claim that as human beings are the smartest thing out there in the goddamn galaxy?
No,
okay.
I'm kind of actually hoping we don't.
We are
because they are just going to be flabbergasted by how stupid we are.
Yeah, if they took one look at David or something, or this Pete or Mark, yeah, we'd be in real trouble.
I think
the joke of it is, guys.
The
joke of it is, they have proven we only use 1% of our brain.
No, they haven't. That's
now,
nonsense. That's a myth.
That's nonsense.
Myth.
That is absolute rubbish.
It's an urban myth. That one.
That's straight out of
the
straight
fact
out
that you're
of
prepared to just come out
research.
with that just points out you don't base any of your arguments on everything, just simply what you want to believe.
Now, last time I checked, who wants to go higher than 3% as far as us using our brain?
We use all of it.
We use all of our brain.
Myth. You're working on a complete myth. You've
Back in the
no
60s.
idea what you're talking about.
All right. Well, it would be nice if you read it up. I
have, and it's a complete myth. It was based that study that claimed we only use 10 or 20% of our brains has been shown to be complete rubbish.
able to see one thing. They've shown in some sites Mengele's research that he did in the death camps, and one of the things I saw was that he through brainwashing or his mind manipulation, he was able to enter the barrier that basically locks us off from, you know, the part that he
Right,
said
so this is one
we have no
person
access
who's made
to.
a claim in a death camp who believed in a genocide.
Out to Shill Scanner, thank you for the super chat.
The guy, you know, I am not
science doesn't work like that, Mark. Science doesn't work like that. It has to be repeated, validated by a vast number of institutions before we give it any credence at all. Just by saying some guy in a genocide camp decided something and wrote something down is irrelevant.
All your scientific heroes are eugenics freaks, Rumpus.
Is it well? I don't.
It is that
Einstein wasn't. Einstein
this
was a
research
eugenic
is
freak. So you're saying Einstein was a eugenicist, are you? And Newton, you think Newton was a eugenicist?
Actually, Einstein was
probably
a
was.
Einstein.
You don't know what you're.
Do you know how many?
You're utterly deluded, Pete. You've no idea what you're talking about.
Einstein, the guy, Einstein.
I actually
the theory
do.
of
I've read
relativity.
Einstein's autobiography of you, moron.
Well, in which case you wouldn't say he was a eugenicist, then, would you?
I read Einstein's autobiography of you.
No, I
Smart
haven't.
guy.
But I know it's not
Oh,
eugenicist. Well, clearly
I'm
you
so
just
shocked.
Well, you must
at
have just
this
read the cover or something.
pretentious
Because,
British retard.
well, well, if you spout a load of drivel, I'm afraid you're going to get called out.
What class are you, Rumpus?
Gentlemen, just so you know,
I'm in the class
Einstein has
above
been
you.
disproven. All of Einstein's theories, every single one has been disproven by
every
now.
single one has been proved.
No,
every single one has been proved.
Absolutely not.
Including.
Go on, point out. Go on, Mark.
theory of
Demonstrate. He's
Well,
been,
I'm sure that the
Theory
lizard
of relativity.
people disprove them, right?
Relativity. The theory
What
of
about
relativity starts out
What about
by
space,
asking you,
Mark? What about space Jews? Do you believe in the
What?
space Jews? The Jews from space.
from space.
Jews from space.
No one's been to space, and I'm sure that the Jews
Is that like
weren't the only ones
Spaceballs?
who were
You seen that
excluded.
movie, Spaceballs?
The beliefs that
Yeah.
So we have about 10 minutes left on this broadcast. Massive thank you to Shill Scanner and the other people who hit the super chat. Huge thanks, and of course a massive thank you to all the people who have shared. I will come back one last time. I'd normally encourage people to join to do a little bit of last minute trolling maybe, but there's no gaps on the panel. If there is a gap that opens up, feel free to join in the last 10 minutes and say or do as you will. The rules still apply, please do not swear. But yeah, we'll come back one last time just to thank you all for watching and thank the panel for being here. Be sure to subscribe if you've not done so already, and smash that super chat if you are enjoying these streams.
Theory of relativity. He came up with a theory of special relativity and the theory of general relativity. The theory of relativity was invented by Galileo. So the mere fact you can't even get the name of the theory right just demonstrates you're an idiot. Well, but then again, we knew that already.
Einstein, this is what I have that basically with a lot more to it, okay? But I didn't read much into it. I'm not a math whiz.
Say something sensible.
Well, just let him finish.
But here's Einstein says this, that a half a cup of water equals a half empty cup of water. Then it basically multiplies both sides by 2. Then it says that an empty cup is equal to a full cup. After you're willing to basically swallow that, the rest of the math,
I think you should
math magic.
Space Jews.
No,
that would be a step up.
Yeah, I think speaking in English would be a good step forward, and any sort of coherent argument would be nice. That was just gibberish.
Well, the moment you start speaking English, everybody here starts screaming moron and never let you finish a sentence.
Well, stop being a moron then. Say something sensible based on evidence.
The only time that you don't sound like a moron in your books is if you say that the Earth is round and it's spinning through space like a pretty blue ball. Everything after that, you turn into a moron.
About how they would train to like basically parrot what everyone around them says, and that makes them feel like they're normal and intelligent.
You can go to Lake Pontchartrain and see for yourself that the Earth is curved. You can look up into the sky and see that the North Pole and South Pole is rotating around you in a different way that cannot happen on a flat Earth. We can measure the distances to stars and see how they're rotating. We can measure the cosmic wave background radiations and see ourselves moving through space. We can detect. So we can see all these things that invalidate.
It's some
we can
guy.
invalidate all the
It's
arguments.
some guy. It's not we. We aren't measuring shit.
We are. All institutions around the world have done this. That's the way science works.
We are
It's a
asking some
collaborative effort.
guy.
It's not
No,
some
Some
guy.
guy.
No,
It's
dude,
not an
some guy.
individual. You're deluded if you think it's just an individual coming with an idea and we're all having it dictated to us. It's verified by all the institutions around the world in different countries around the world, and you can go to Lake Pontchartrain and go and see the curvature for yourself.
Why does it have to be Pontchartrain?
Well,
Why
because
can't
it's
you go
just
to
easy there.
any lake?
Oh, you can. Okay.
Why can't you go to
It's
any
very
lake?
convenient on Lake Pontchartrain. Okay, how
No,
about if
I
you
mean-
go to if you want to go to Chicago? If you go and look at Chicago from the opposite shore of Lake Michigan, you can see the half of the what's it building. You
Sorry,
can see
Nathan, it was up. It was the very top.
Actually,
video.
no, you can't.
There, click on Einstein on right hand side. Up the right, that's it. Click there. There
No,
you go.
for some reason they can see straight across and see the entire Chicago skyline without a drop.
It's not true.
Hello, I'm Laura Green, and this is National Geographic Today.
Everybody's
Is it
pointing to
possible
that.
that
It's a
Einstein
mirage.
got it wrong?
Yeah,
Well, some
it was a
researchers think so,
mirage.
and their groundbreaking work is rocking the scientific community. Nothing travels faster than the speed of light. At least that's what Einstein's theory of relativity tells us. Now, a new study is breaking the law. Physicists at the CERN Research Institute in Switzerland have clocked a neutrino particle travelling faster than light. According to Einstein's theory, that's not supposed to happen.
Can I interject here? Yes, this was an experiment conducted by some Swiss and some Italian scientists, and the scientists in question thought they had some neutrinos that were going faster than the speed of light. After they investigated for several years, well, I think it was a year or something, when they offering it, they've now
They did this in the Hadron Collider, right?
Hold on,
Is that
they've
where
now
this was done?
retracted that claim. Hold on, they've now retracted that claim when they found out it was due to a dodgy cable.
Yes, it was a loose cable. Why weren't you
Yeah,
able
of course,
to find
of course, of course it was. That was me that asked Nathan to play that, so it's not down to Nathan. That was me. Yeah, but of course it was a dodgy cable.
Why weren't
Listen,
you able
they
to
got
figure that out?
threatened. Listen, they got threatened, right? They got threatened.
How you can prove that?
Go and watch an interview. Go and watch an interview. Listen, go watch an interview with them. Go and watch an interview with them.
Sorry, I'm going to have to turn you guys down because we haven't got enough time for the back and forth. So, been joined by Huey. Very pleased to have you here, Huey. How are you doing?
Hello, Nathan. Good evening. How are you?
Very well. We've got about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less left, just so you know.
Hello, Huey.
On again. Hey, Curved. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Hey, Huey.
Rob.
Hey, Huey. How are you?
How are you? Yeah,
Not too bad. Yeah, I've been a bit, but I'll be back on Earth discussion at some stage in the not so distant future. I've just been doing lots of other things, unfortunately, and I just saw this some gibberish on here. Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll come back on the Earth discussion at some stage. Though I see you.
Righto.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Ali?
Absolutely spiffing, my God.
Oh, good man. Good man. Glad to hear it. Anyway, what were you guys talking about? Something about a dodgy cable at CERN?
Oh, that's right. There's someone here. I mean, this is just incredible. Someone was trying to invalidate Einstein by the experiment, the neutrino problem they had between the detector and the neutrino source in Switzerland and Italy. And then someone here was playing the video saying, but by some news item, claiming that invalidated Einstein. And the people who were making that claim were very reluctant to make it. They checked it for about 6 months, and then after a year, they made it public. Said, look, we've got a problem here. We don't quite understand what's going on. And then spent another year. I think it was about a year, something. And they asked everybody else to come and help them. Then they discovered, as Brenda also knows, it was down to a dodgy cable, and they then retracted all those claims. So that news item is completely out of date. All the scientists that made that claim have retracted it and said, "Oh, sorry, it was a dodgy cable. We look very stupid. Apologies. Thank you very much. No, nothing."
Ali thinks it's because they were threatened, but he won't show any evidence for that.
Yeah, with a funded. No, well, I don't know. I'm quite good at reading people, and if you go and have a look at the interview, but anyway, that doesn't matter.
Reads mine.
You're really not, Ali. You're really not.
Maybe those same scientists will come out and tell you the Earth's flat here pretty soon too, since they messed up a lot.
You won't believe them. You don't believe it.
The point I was actually going to make was, right, is because Einstein wrote a paper in 1911 saying that speed, light wasn't a constant. But then, as everybody knows, he wrote that paper in, what was it, 15 or 1921 or something?
He wrote
a paper in 1911 saying that the speed of light was not constant.
How
Okay,
come
well,
Einstein didn't
1905
invent the refrigerator, huh?
In 1905, he wrote the special theory of
He's so
relativity
smart.
paper, in which he
Yeah, and in
declared light was a
1911,
constant.
he wrote a paper. In 1911, he wrote a paper about how speed was a variable.
Okay,
Right,
where's
in
the evidence for that? Okay, where's the evidence for that?
All right, okay, I'll just find it and hang on.
Please do. I don't believe that.
About 60
It's in one of the
seconds.
Royal Institute
About
lectures.
60 seconds left.
There's a Royal Institute. Sorry, Nathan.
I was just going to say, you've got 60 seconds to
adamant
do it.
about it being a constant. In 1905, he wrote the theory of special relativity, and he was absolutely adamant, as far as I know, his entire life, that the speed of light was an absolute constant. He based all of his theories upon that. It was the basis of everything he ever did.
It was the cosmological constant that he thought of adding to his special theory.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, but you didn't even know that he wrote a paper. You just didn't even know that he wrote a paper in 1911, so you don't know what you're talking about. He wrote a paper in 1911.
Well, okay. Just because I didn't know, I'm not familiar with him having written a particular paper on particular dates. He wrote lots of papers in many, many years. The fact that you're saying he'd written one in 1911, I think I'm perfectly entitled not to know that. But he will not, in that paper, have claimed
but it was
that
about
the
light.
speed of light was not a constant.
It was about the speed of light that he didn't believe it was a constant. He wrote it.
In vacuum, of course. If it's in a medium like glass or something, it will slow down. So we're talking about in a vacuum, of course.
He wouldn't have been talking about that. He talked about space, didn't he? He didn't talk about.
There's going to be a conceptual error here.
He didn't mess with Newton's shit, man. You know what I mean?
Well, come on. Where's the evidence that he did?
Is
Come on,
this
now,
a
you've
ball
just made
map or is this a flat map? You people decide.
That's a flat.
And with that, I am going to say, first and foremost, a huge thank you to Rob, Andrew, and Shillscanner for hitting that super chat, and a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning into this debate. And a massive, massive thank you to the debate panel for making the debate possible. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.